Well, hello, everyone. We're going to start the meeting at 7 because we have a lot of things to cover. My name is Barbara Cooper, and I am the chair of the Fidalgo Democrats. And I want to thank you all for coming. This is a great turnout. If anyone needs a seat, there are a few chairs that are piled on top of each other, and so Philippe will help you grab them. Thank you. And we start our meeting with an acknowledgement. We, the Fidalgo Democrats, acknowledge that we gather on indigenous land, the traditional territory of the Coast Salish people, specifically the Salish and Swinomish people, and pay our respects to elders past, present, and future. If you're not on our mailing list and would like to be, we have a sign-up sheet in the back. Just put in your name and your email, and Rita takes care of that, and she will put you on our email list. We don't send out a lot of emails, so it's not annoying, hopefully. The front door of the library is locked. If you need to leave or want to leave, that door and that door. I'm going to ask everybody to please turn off your cell phones. I just turned mine off. There are lovely cookies in the back. Thank you, Rita Sullivan, wherever. Yay for Rita. There's also some decaf coffee and some tea.
And gluten-free today.
And that's right, there's gluten-free cookies. Thank you. That's very kind of whoever brought them, much appreciated. Did you bring those?
No, I was waving at a friend.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know who brought them, but thank you very much. That's very thoughtful.
Yeah, I made them.
Oh, all right. Uh-oh. Too many people taking credit. The Fidalgo Democrats are an independent democratic association with a focus on education. I want to remind everyone we are not a PAC. We cannot endorse candidates or contribute to their campaigns. We do invite candidates to talk about issues and legislation. If you want to contribute to candidates or get involved in their campaigns, we encourage you to go to their websites. The meeting is being recorded by Rita Sullivan. She's taken on a lot of wonderful hats for us. She's become our videographer, and she will send out a recording of the meeting to the YouTube channel. We've had some changes in when we usually meet. We like to meet the second Tuesday, but so much is going on that we have been moving our meetings around for this next month. We wanted to announce that we're not putting it on, but there is a candidate forum run by at the City Hall, run by the Chamber and the League of Women Voters, and that is going to be on Tuesday. Oh dear, I didn't write down the date. The 14th, sorry about that, thank you. And it will have the port candidates as well as the city council candidates. So it's open to the public, and it will start at 5 and be over at 8. Our next meeting, this is the Fidalgo Democrats, is Tuesday evening, October 28th. And that's going to be with the Washington legislators and our senator from the 40th and the 10th. And they'll be talking about what's going on this last session and what they expect from the next session. The other change we're going to make is that we're going to have a candidates forum for the pool candidates. And so we're inviting the candidates that are running for the current commissioner. There's 2 seats and 4 candidates, and there's running for the could be or might be the new Metropolitan Recreational District. There are 2 candidates that are running, and they're opposed. The rest are unopposed, and we've invited them to come and say hello, but we're not going to have them as part of the forum since they're unopposed. We've also invited Eric Dollar, who is here tonight on the back, and he is the pool administrator, the Fidalgo Pool and Fitness Administrator. He's going to talk when I'm done, just to let people know what's going on. It's be very factual. We have information in the back from the voter pamphlet on what the resolution is, how it's explained, and the pros and cons, which will be in your voter pamphlet. The reason we've changed our meeting for the pool candidates to Friday, October 10th is because the ballots will be coming out the following week. And we want to make sure people have time to look at their voter pamphlet and make an educated decision on whether they want this any change with the pool. What I'm going to do now is I'm done, and I am going to turn this meeting over to Shay, and she will introduce herself, and she is going to be the moderator. She is a retired cardiologist, a former school board member, and a former state legislator. So thank you, and hopefully our AV equipment will be cooperative.
Did I look surprised? Well, we're going to start actually with Eric, who's going to come and speak with us about the ballot measure that will be on the November ballot to potentially change the governance of the current pool district. He is going to speak factually. That is actually all he's allowed to do by law. He's not going to give any opinions. You're going to be able to ask questions, but if you ask questions that require anything but a factual answer, he's going to pass. When we have the October 10th forum, we will have speakers both pro and con, and at that time we can go into things that are not, that we will not be limited in what people can say, but Eric is limited in what he can say. With that, would you come on up and tell us what's going on?
Okay, thank you so much for the opportunity, Barbara and Shay. Yes, I'm brand new to this stuff, so I'm learning a lot just as you are, and it is very confusing. So I thought it would be a good idea to have an opportunity to come up and try to explain as best I can on what this resolution means, what it potentially can affect, and then obviously you guys can make educated voting decisions moving forward. So the things that I kind of wanted to bring up for this specifically was just kind of explain what is the difference between a metropolitan district in essence and a municipal parks and recreation district, which we currently are at the moment, kind of how it works, because as I've learned this process of the levy system and property taxes, my goodness, it is crazy. So, and spent a lot of time on the phone with the county assessors and the elections office. So, yeah, getting very educated for future reference. So, and then obviously, I've had a lot of people ask the same question: why are we doing this again? And so, I'd like to talk a little bit about that, just to make sure that you all understand why this is being brought to you again to vote on when it was already done last year. And with that, so currently, Fidalgo Parks and Recreation is a municipal district. It currently runs independently from the city and the county. There's no funding for that. The resolution on the ballot in November will be to transition into a metropolitan district. The major differences with that are basically that the 6-year levy, which we currently rely on for maintenance and operation funding every 6 years, would go away. So on your current last couple of ballots you've had in 2021 and 2015, you voted to pass a levy. There's an amount that's set on that ballot that kind of determines what your max levy rate will be. You'll see on your property taxes. And if you say yes, we stay open. If you say no, we would go away. The support from the community has been immense from as long as early in the 90s. I don't think it's failed since then. So this is not an issue of support from the community. You guys have stood by the pool 100%, and that's obviously very appreciated. Our current budget annually is about $1.5 million, and we approximately run 50% of that is done through that maintenance and operations levy. The other 50% is raised through user fees, in district and out of district. So if that levy does fail, that 50% would not cover any of the extra additional expenses to be able to maintain the pool. And since the facility was built in 1975, it has aged gracefully, but it's aged a lot. So more and more so we come up with potential issues of things that are not necessarily going to break, or not if they're going to break, but when they're going to break. And there currently isn't really a plan in place to repair anything in any major capital improvement or failure that the pool facility has. And so the commissioners felt that it would be, this path to go to a metropolitan district would be a beneficial one to the facility and the community it serves, because with a elimination of the 6-year levy, need for a 6-year levy approval, the funding for the facility that covers half of our expenses for maintenance operations would be predictable and sustained. And so therefore, it would open up a lot of opportunities for potential financing to cover any kind of major expenses which we currently could not attain. Why is it on the ballot again? This is for the few conversations I've had with patrons, commissioners, in the last ballot, there was a lot of confusion on what it actually was. What were they voting on? People had said things like, are we voting for a new pool? Is this something that's going to change kind of the way that our taxes are done? Are we, just a lot of stuff that just wasn't quite accurate.